What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sit Down. I'm DJ Sixsmith. Big guest in the house, Clyde Drexler, one of the 50 greatest to ever play. Big Three commissioner as well. What's up, Clyde?
Pleasure. Delighted to be here.
Thank you very much. So before we get into the Big Three, let's wind it all the way back. Tell me the first time you picked up a basketball and what made you want to be a hooper.
Oh, basketball is a love. I mean, back then we played seasonal sports. Basketball season, we played basketball. Baseball season, we played baseball. Football season, we played football. And so the neighborhood played seasonal sports. You played with everyone else in the neighborhood.
And I like that method, too, because you're not just specialized in one thing. Right. You're doing a bunch of different things. And I feel like that makes you a better athlete overall.
Oh, absolutely. And then as you get older, you have more skills to combine in whatever you want to specialize in. Back then, you didn't have to specialize. You could do it all.
So you're playing a little bit of everything. When's that first moment you realized, you know, I got some game, maybe I could take this to the next level?
I was probably a better baseball player. I loved football.
What was your position in baseball?
Baseball was the first baseman. I could hit it a long way.
Got some pop?
Oh, I can catch everything. You know, you couldn't throw over me. I could catch and jump everything. And so I loved baseball. Played it every day. Went to all the Astros games. And so lived for that. I knew everyone average, what their hitting percentages were. And then in football, the same thing. Football geek. Love football to this day, and baseball as well. But basketball, same way, knew everyone's field goal percentage, points per game. But as I began to grow, I thought basketball, you know what, you can't be tall for nothing.
This makes sense.
Yeah,
you know,
so basketball just kind of won out.
That's awesome. So thinking back to your college days, Phi Slamma Jamma was obviously a movement. When you think about it now, what was the biggest thing that sticks out to you?
Well, the biggest thing was there was a lot of talent. Guy Lewis, head coach, University of Houston, tremendous talent. He was a phenomenal coach, but he was a great recruiter. But he had so much discipline. And if you played for Guy Lewis, the one thing he really respected is you got to be a man. You got to play like you really are trying to win. Compete, compart yourself at all times, carry yourself like an adult. And he was a phenomenal teacher, but he required you to be. His favorite thing was be a man.
Yeah, that's certainly going to stick home, right?
Oh, he was a tough guy, too, so I love that.
So you guys made a couple Final Fours. Young Hakeem, I mean, what do you remember about playing with him?
Oh, Hakeem, when he, unbelievable work ethic, worked hard like everyone else on the team, but just a great guy, always trying to be the best that he could be. And he came up in a great system. Guy Lewis was a coach that thought he could teach anyone, if they had height, he thought I could teach you how to play the post. And not only play it, to play it well. And so he came to the right coach. Also, you had Moses Malone in that city of Houston. Right. He was 3-time MVP. He took a liking to Hakeem, really nurtured his game, helped him work on his game, get stronger. And everybody on their team, guys like myself, Larry Mishaw, Michael Young, all of us helped along the way. But Hakeem was an incredible student, athlete, did incredible things at the University of Houston. And he came along at the right time.
Yeah, I'd say so. It was definitely an incredible time for you guys.
Yes.
So you mentioned mentors. So take me back to those Portland days because you're becoming a professional for the first time. You enter the league. Who were some of the guys that kind of took you under their wing and helped you out?
Well, back then, rookies just didn't come out and play. I don't care who you were.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Real special to even play in your second year. But guys like Michael Thompson, Klay Thompson's dad, was the franchise player in Portland at the time. And he took me under his wings, taught me a little bit about the league, about the city of Portland. Guys like Darnell Valentine, Lafayette Lever, Pat Lever. I mean, those guys were Calvin Nat. They were just phenomenal guys. Jim Paxson. John's
great guys to learn from.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
So what was the biggest shocker at first when you were playing in the league?
The biggest shocker was perhaps how good guys were. You see them on TV, and you think you're good if you're in college. But when you play against these guys, they got 1,000 secrets that you don't know about.
And you're thinking to yourself, oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little different than University of Houston.
Oh, absolutely. So you got to learn the secrets, refine your game, and then you'll be on the level to play with those guys. But think about guys coming out of high school now. Oh, my God. I mean, they don't even know the college guys' tricks, let alone the NBA guys' tricks. So there's a 3 to 4 year learning curve.
So are you one of those guys that thinks maybe 1 or 2 years of college is really necessary for these guys today?
Well, you're only talking about 2 or 3 guys a year.
Right.
And so if those guys, if it's cool for a 16-year-old tennis player to play with Roger Federer,
sure,
or Rafa Nadal, or a soccer player, or a baseball player, or a hockey player, why is it not cool for a basketball player to play with LeBron?
Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
Are you kidding me? Let
you have
those
the
kids
talent,
play. We're
yeah.
only talking about 3 kids a year. Let them go. If they can play, let them play. But if they can't, send them to college because they need to get education. They need to get refinement.
Right. Some guys are ready. Like, you think about Jason Tatum. Like, he could have been a guy, just hop right into the league. LeBron, Kobe.
I don't know, because even in Jason's first year, I mean, he's still a little bit, he got to get stronger.
True.
His jumper had to get a little bit better. I mean, we start to see results at the end of the season, but that's a long season.
Yeah.
And you're playing against the best in the world, and so you're getting better consistently because why? You're watching film, you see what the guys do, and it happens over and over and over again. So you get the repetition. But after that, he became a decent player. But even now, Jaylen Brown, I mean, all those guys are young, but we still don't know how good they're going to be.
We have no idea.
Right.
And it takes time, too. And you mentioned consistency. So when you think about your career, you're earning your minutes with Portland. You're starting to become a consistently great player. How does that happen, and how long did that really take you to feel that way?
Well, you think you're great coming in, but
of course, everybody feels that way, right?
But you're not really great until you put up the numbers and your team is producing and you're winning as a team, because you're only as good as your team. So you could be really good, but if your team is not good, how good are you? So you have to make your team better, and that was a measuring stick back then that everyone had to go through, even though it's a team sport. It's not an individual sport. It's a team sport, so it's a little bit different dynamics because of that.
And you had some great teams in Portland.
Had some great teams in Portland. Went to the finals, had the best record in 91, finals in 90 and 92. Great memories, great teams, great coaches, Jack Ramsey, Rick Adelman.
The great Jack Ramsey.
Great history.
Yeah.
We sold out every game. I mean, my whole career in college, Portland and with the Houston Rockets, never not played in front of a sellout crowd.
Wow. Everybody wanted to see the glide. I mean, come on.
I mean, that's pretty phenomenal.
That's
but
amazing.
think about that. I
Yeah.
mean, we played in sellout crowds everywhere.
And now today, some arenas are half full. You know?
Well, you know,
more people coming to the Big Three.
You got to give them a reason. The Big Three has been great. I
Yeah.
mean, the crowds show up. The fans love the popularity of the game. You see celebrities there, but for the most part, the guys in the Big Three are competitive. The games we have a great product. Guys like Amari Stoudemire, Nate Robinson, Drew Gooden, Carlos Boozer, Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, Chauncey Billups, Al Harrington. Those guys can play.
And those are dudes you want to see.
Rashard Lewis. I mean, they're young. They can still play. And you condense the floor. It's 3-on-3. It's half court. Now, our games are once a week. You also have what? Recovery time.
Yes, important.
Those guys are really good if you give them that. Recovery time.
No back-to-backs, no 4 and 5 nights.
Yeah, that's what the NBA has, and that's why it's tough on them as they get older. But in the Big Three, they can be real good.
Oh, it's a beautiful situation.
Yes.
I mean, that's the best situation.
Yeah, the game founded by Ice Cube and Jeff Quantnitz, they're visionaries. And to make professional 3-on-3 in the big leagues actually as the Big Three is genius. I mean, why hadn't that been done before? And now that it's been done, we're in the second year, and we've had a banner year the second year. The first year was great. And now it's also an Olympic sport. How nice is that? So the Big Three is best positioned to represent our country in the Olympics, and hopefully we'll also make that happen.
So you're saying 35, 36-year-old Clyde Drexler would have jumped in the Big Three right away?
Oh, in a heartbeat. And would have had so much fun because there's so much strategy involved because we all grew up playing 3-on-3. It's probably the most played basketball in the world because you can't always find 10 guys.
Right, or you only get half a court when you're running out of gym.
Exactly. So you grew up playing 3-on-3. So if you're an ISO specialist or if you can really post up and score, or if you got a 4-point shooter, you can do well in the 3-on-3 concept.
Well, it's like Big Baby Davis inside now. I mean, dude's just owning guys out there.
He's owning, and Chris Birdman Anderson, I mean, in the NBA, he didn't shoot many jumpers.
No.
Reggie Evans.
Yeah.
But in the Big Three, they shoot jumpers wide. They have the freedom to go one-on-one. And if you can't score in the Big Three, you're nondescript. You got to be able to defend, and you got to be able to score if they give you the ball. And so that's what makes it so compelling.
So you guys are at the Barclays Center tonight here in New York City. Obviously, New York and basketball, very special connection there. So what does it mean to you that the Big Three championship and the consolation game are at Barclays?
Well, I think it's great. New York, the mecca of basketball, the mecca of the media in basketball. And so to have our final game here is a treat. The fans here in our first game last season really showed up and showed out here in Brooklyn. And so we want to reward them by bringing our final game here this season. Also, Dallas was a season that really showed up. But a city that showed up for the Big Three, but everywhere we've gone, from Toronto to Miami to Oakland to Houston, everyone showed up. I mean, if we don't sell out, we near sell out everywhere we go. And there's a frenzy for the Big Three games. And here's the concept. All 8 teams in the Big Three play every Friday night for 10 weeks in the summer. And
people
all
are
the
dying
games,
for hoops.
Yeah, they're dying for hoops, but all the games are on Fox or FS1. And let me tell you something. You see 4 games for the price of 1. Games last between 25 minutes and an hour. You never know. But they're all completely competitive. And you see the best. You see Hall of Fame coaches from Julius Erving, Dr. J, George Iceman Gervin. You see Rick Barry, Rick Mahorn, Nancy Lieberman, Michael Cooper, Gary Payton, and Charles Oakley. Come on.
You got all the names.
We got Hall of Fame coaches.
And you got great products, yeah.
So between that concept, it is the most competitive 3-on-3 professional basketball in the world. And if you're a hoops fan, when the Big Three comes to your city, you don't want to miss it. I mean, it is a show. And then with Ice Cube, he has so many celebrity friends, and a lot of them are singers or actors. You never know who's going to be there. And one of them may even belt out your favorite song at a timeout. And it happens at all the Big Three events. And so it's unconventional. It's a lot of fun. And it's been great to see the league grow and the popularity grow the way that it has.
Yeah, it's a terrific product. And speaking of shows, Ice Cube performing tonight for the people. I mean, you've known Cube for a little while. What can the people expect tonight?
Cube is one of the best performers in the world, whether he's singing, he's on the mic, or rapping, or if he's acting. I mean, this guy's he's an international icon. Everything he does touches, it turns into gold. And he's just got that Midas touch. And we all love his music. So if you want to see him tonight, be there at 6:30 at the Barclays Center. It's going to be off the hook.
Very good to know. So a championship on the line in the Big Three tonight. You won a championship in your NBA career. Yeah. What was that moment like for you?
It was phenomenal. I think, whenever you're good enough and lucky enough to be on a team that can win a championship, it's a thing of beauty. Today, in the Big Three, we got Three's Company and Power. Three's Company is coached by Michael Cooper, phenomenal coach, won at every level, D-League, WNBA, NBA. Now he's trying to make it the Big Three champion. How nice would that be?
That'd be a nice little side note on the resume,
he's going to make
right?
history. And on his team, he's got Jason Maxiell, Drew Gooden, he's got DeMar Johnson, Andre Emmett, and Baron Davis, Dante Jones as well. And then on Team Power, you got Nancy Lieberman, the first lady head coach in the men's league.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Big Three is changing the game.
There you go.
And so, but think about it. Power's got Glenn Big Baby Davis, Chris Birdman Anderson. You got Corey Maggette,
got some muscle
Coutinho Mobley, Quentin Richardson, Xavier Salas, Ryan Gomes. These guys are talented. And so that's the reason they're good. And that's the reason this championship is going to be incredible. But also in the consolation game, you got teams that are fighting for 3rd and 4th place because every position in the Big Three is slotted, 1 through 8. So you have to win your position. So Tri-State, coached by Julius Erving, they lost to Team Power by, 2 points last week in Dallas. What a close game. What a heavyweight contest.
Fight, yeah.
I mean, they were throwing blows, haymakers. And that was a great game, probably the most exciting and compelling game of the year. But Tri-State lost, had a turnover at the end of the game, cost them the game. And then Three-Headed Monsters, coached by Gary Payton.
The glove.
They were probably the best team all season long. They were 7-1, just like Team Power. And then they had a little dissension, and it cost them. And in the tough games, Three's Company came out and just put a beat down on them. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Got to execute in the playoffs.
You got to execute. It's all about who can get it done when it counts the most.
So if you were playing in the Big Three, who would you run with? From the guys you were playing with in the league, who would have been on your squad?
I mean, if you get guys like Karl Malone, Dominique Wilkins, you can get guys like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon. Any one of them guys would be good. Why? Because they're two-way players. They can play both defense and offense, and they're unguardable. So give me any one of those guys or a combination thereof, and we would light guys up.
So basically just run out the 92 Dream Team?
Well, most of them, yes. Oh, absolutely.
Maybe leave Christian Laettner off to the side and just bring everybody else.
I like Christian. He was a great player in his day. Christian Laettner was perhaps the most the collegiate player that had won the most at that time, and he deserved to be on that team.
And that must have been such an amazing time because, first of all, Barcelona is such an incredible spot. You're in the Olympics. You're playing with the best players in the world. Did you guys realize how special it was back then?
Well, we did, but, you know, during the time, you're so busy, you're tired. I mean, we had just Portland Trailblazers lost in the finals to the Chicago Bulls. And so I needed a little knee surgery, so I was trying to find time to get it done, but there was no time. And so everything moved so quickly. We went to practicing for the Dream Team. Then we started traveling, and the next thing you know, the Olympics start. And so it was too much fun, but I was dead tired.
Well, that's because you're playing all 82.
Exactly.
And playing most fourth quarters as well, right?
Absolutely. So, but it was a great moment in time, and to represent your country was just phenomenal. But to get to know the guys on the Eastern Conference side, because, you know, back then we didn't really like guys if they had on a different jersey. So to get to know those guys the right way was absolutely a treat.
So you just lost to Jordan, and you're playing with him on the same team.
Absolutely.
Was that strange for you?
It was very strange. But, you know, I'd been on all-star teams for many years with the guys in the Western Conference and knew them pretty well. But the guys in the East, you never really have time to sit down and have a conversation. So I got to know guys like Larry Bird, Patrick Ewing, Scottie Pippen, just great guys, incredible guys.
Do you still think about losing in '92?
No, I mean,
you got your chip, but I'm saying,
you know, we won in '95 with the Rockets, but, you know, you don't think about the games you lost, because if you win 65, 70% of the games that you play against the best in the world, you can't be focused on the ones you lose.
So you've done a little bit of everything in your basketball life. You were a head coach for a little while. What was the most rewarding part of that experience?
It's great to come full circle. And those are things that you just enjoy doing. And if you enjoy doing them, do them. But getting up and doing something every day, I don't know if I like that.
Well, you got your Rockets games that you're doing the color commentary for, right?
Yeah, I've been doing that for about 15 years, and I do the home games, and it's been a treat to do that. Rockets are a great franchise. Leslie Alexander was the owner for many, many years and ran a stellar franchise. Now it's owned by Tillman Fertitta. And they've got an incredible group of players, and they got Carmelo Anthony now.
Yeah, what do you think?
To go along with James Harden and Chris Paul, and these guys are set to make a run for the championship for the next 5 years.
So when you think about guys in the league today, getting more rest, getting paid bigger dollars, but you like that. You like that the guys are getting taken care of now. So what's it like for you to see today's NBA compared to what you played in?
I think it's great because you sacrifice. You don't have a life. And so for these guys to actually get paid what they're worth, without having to go fight for it every day and hold out, it's phenomenal. It lets me know that the league respects their talent. And so now the players give you everything they have. They play hard. And it's been fun to watch the guys compete, and the games are compelling and interesting, and I enjoy it.
So you're a very special player in your day. When you think about today's league, is there anybody that reminds you of yourself?
Well, I hate to compare players. I don't want to do anybody any disservice. Or myself.
So who are some guys you like then? When
I love all the guys. I mean, LeBron is hard not to like. He plays the total game. I love to watch him play. Steph Curry, one of my favorites. James Harden, one of my favorites. Chris Paul, the way he competes, phenomenal. I mean, so these guys, they come at you. They play hard. Klay Thompson, one of my favorites, one of the greatest shooters that I've ever seen in my life. And so it's fun to watch him shoot from so many different angles and make shots each and every night. I mean, so just guys like that, you kind of can admire their skill level because you know how hard they've worked on it.
Yeah, and you know firsthand how much work it takes to get to that level.
Absolutely.
So when you think about basketball as a whole today, I mean, obviously very popular while you were playing, but it seems like even more of an up peak today, given the Big Three, given the NBA, Summer League. I mean, how cool is it for you to see basketball being so popular that even though the NFL rates better, people are just clamoring for more and more basketball? Well,
basketball has always been a great sport, and people love to see it. Because if you're watching a game, you can understand it. You don't need to get a rule book to understand it.
Nope. All you need
some
is
of our
just watch.
sports, you need a rule book to see, hey, how does this go?
You're like, how do you score in rugby?
Exactly. So basketball is pretty simple, but people love it, and they love to see guys hustling. That's the number one thing. And the Big Three, the reason why it's been so successful, because our guys hustle. I mean, they play, they hit the floor. Every minute counts, every position counts, and so you're never out of it, right? And so they give you everything they've got as if they're playing for millions of dollars. So it's so much fun to see them compete.
So thinking about the Big Three, huge jump in year two. Yeah. As the commissioner, how does this thing continue to grow?
Well, I think we got to start thinking about some global growth, pick up some maybe some international players, maybe start a few leagues in other countries. And if that's something we'd like to do, it's going to be up to the founders. to try to figure out the best way to maximize the popularity of the Big Three. But I think, you know, the standard of basketball around the world, the Big Three is the standard for professional 3-on-3.
Maybe get Kobe Bryant in the league?
Well, if we get Kobe or Tim Duncan, the big fundamental, it'll be great. I mean, but guys like that, they either are going to play if they want to play, and if they don't, it's okay. We still love you. But there are enough guys, like in our combine for the Big Three, we had over 90 ex-NBA players fighting for about 15 spots. So there are a lot of guys who are disappointed.
Yeah.
And every year that number grows. So it sends the message that if you want to play in the Big Three, you got to bring your game. You got to be in great shape. You got to be able to help teams win. Because if you can't help them win, you're not going to get selected. So you better work on your game. And it's not necessarily about your name, because you could have been great in the NBA, but if you can't compete in the Big Three, they're not going to fool with you.
What have you done for me lately?
So it's not about your name, it's about your game.
Clyde Drexler always bringing his game. Big Three championship tonight. Clyde, thank you so much.
Anytime, Daniel. Pleasure.
All right, there you have it. Thanks for joining us on The Sit Down. We'll see you next time.